group was formed as a result of the merger between Trinity Expert Systems and Eurodata in June of last year. And I've been asked just to give you a brief overview of what the function of the group is, the services we provide, and what it means to our customers throughout the industry. I think I'll probably better start by saying I'm quite old, actually, especially at 5 a.m. this morning when I look in the mirror, very old. And I've been around for about 30-odd years in the industry. And we've been building the Trinity Group for the last 20, since 1992. And our aim is to have a company which delivers a broad range of business-led IT services to our diverse client base. It's been a challenging 20 years in keeping abreast of many of the developments and many of the business models that you represent here this morning. And so what we've been focused on, especially over the last 7 or 8 years, is building a range of offerings from managed services all the way through infrastructure into application development, support and maintenance across many industry sectors and verticals. So it's really, for us, about making sure that we've got an offering that matches where you and your businesses are at any given point in the business cycle. We've got a broad range of customers across many industries, and business cycles don't match. Although there's been one major business cycle over the past 3 or 4 years, obviously. So that enables our customers to be able to take services from us that actually reflect what they're trying to do in their business at any given moment in time. The last 3 or 4 years has obviously seen a real focus, as everybody knows, on locking down, weathering the storm, cost reduction in some places, flexibility in others. And that's presented us with a real challenge as well in responding to many of those drivers, and also responding in terms of where our customers are in that particular pain point in the last 3 or 4 years. Having said that, I've never actually known it so busy as we are at the moment. In 20 years, I don't think I've seen us this active across all of our business segments. Normally in a downturn, and I've been through many downturns over the years, you see some consistency across the patch in what people are trying to do. But at the moment, it's pretty varied in where people are going, what they're trying to do, and it's responding to some of the challenges that we're going to talk about today throughout the day. We are a very Microsoft-centric organisation. The reason being, as a CEO, I have to look all of you in the face when I sign up to help and support your IT systems. To do that successfully and credibly over a long period of time, I need partnerships with other people in the industry which are going to work when there's issues. I always say, when I meet customers for the first time, that there's 2 things about IT. It's about computers and people, which are broadly 2 of the most difficult things that you can deal with on a daily basis, because one or other is always going to go wrong for some unexplained reason. And in those situations where things happen, you need a very strong set of partnerships to be able to deliver the services against the SLAs, etc., that we sign up to. So a partnership with Microsoft and some of the other guys that are here in partnership with us today is really important to the services and to the offerings that we deliver. And so we are very focused on who we do business with. The people who we do business with have to have the same ethos, the same flexibility, and the same responsiveness in terms of fixing the problems at customers as we do. So I like to pick up the phone. I like to get on to somebody I know they're going to answer, and they're going to help us and our customers to move their businesses forward. So that's broadly us as a group. We, some 430 people, spread across 2 or 3 offices in the UK and we support clients from America all the way around to Singapore. So 24/7, follow the sun operation. I wanted to just touch and finish on the theme of today, really, and what's going on from my perspective in the industry. Today is getting you to know a little bit more about many of the Microsoft offerings and what Microsoft are up to in this very dynamic time that we have. It's also about the consumeration of IT. And for me, I haven't seen anything like this since Windows 3.1, to be honest. James would probably touch on that in his presentation. But I remember back in 1992-93, I was working in a very large corporate IT department that had virtually every flavour of mainframe known to man and every flavour of Unix known to man in that data centre. And we thought we were pretty special because we were on top of things. We had no application backlog. We were running things pretty well. And then we got engulfed in a storm of demand and criticism when everybody started bringing these damn Amstrads and PS2s, etc., into the office with Windows 3.1 and I think there's a Super Brain Micro came in as well with VisiCalc, etc., etc. And that really set us on a difficult path in those days for 3 or 4 years, trying to balance off the needs of the organisation as an IT department against what people wanted to do, their personal productivity. And for those of us, and there's not many in the room as old as me, but we remember the huge debates in computing at the time about how do you allow people to get personal productivity tools in the office? Should you embrace this thing called Windows? And you know, and on one side you had the data center manager saying, "I'm never going to allow Microsoft into my data center. They're just unreliable. You know, if it goes wrong, you have to reload it, etc., etc., etc." So we all remember those days, and it was a real exciting time to be around in the computer industry. And I'm not saying the intervening period has been dull by any stretch of the imagination. But right now, for the past 6 or 7 months, and where we are, is so analogous to that time. We are getting demands on a daily basis from our customers to allow freedom of choice, to allow people to work as they want to work outside of the office, in the office. People want to be able to have the same experience that they have at home in the office. New blood, all those students that have been helping Facebook to be one of the most successful sites in the history of computing are now coming into the workplace. These guys, they want to work, they want to collaborate with their peers at work in the same way as they collaborated with their social groups outside of work at university. And that's presenting a lot of challenges and a lot of demands to the traditional workplace. And most of all, this BYOD, bring your own device, trend that's going on. It's pretty unstoppable from our perspective because people are just doing it. And you're finding all sorts of devices popping up in all sorts of places where people want to actually make their working life, making their communication more flexible and more responsive to their needs. So what do we as an organisation do about that? Well, I believe that we have to respond to that challenge and allow people to do what they want, but allow organisations to manage and to understand what their user populations want to do and how they want to work. So from things as individualistic as own devices, and everybody's got their own preferred devices, from iPhones, iPads, Androids, Windows, etc., etc. It goes on and on. All the way to how do you integrate those people into the corporate culture via the IT systems? Things such as unified messaging, things such as setting up the collaboration platform to allow people to reach out to their colleagues in a very easy and seamless manner. So all of those themes and all of those technologies have really arrived on our doorstep as an IT company, and is driving tremendous change. I think we're a business like you all are as well. So we've had an interesting 4 or 5 years. We're not immune to the economic conditions. And what we've seen in our business is, over the past 3 years, an almost inherent reluctance to spend anything. Not through any rationale of we've got no money coming in. Our revenues have risen and our profits have risen year on year for the last 20 years. So the same amount of revenue, the same amount of money, the same amount of growth is there, but an almost hypnotic desire to fit in with the rest of the world and not spend anything because recession's here, we've got to lock down. Well, I kind of think now, as a group of companies, as a country, I think everybody's kind of gone, well, okay, the recession might still be here. It doesn't seem to be going away. We just better get on with stuff now because we're fed up of waiting. And I see that repeated time and time again in all of the customers I go out to. Everybody's pretty much fed up of putting stuff on hold. And we've got this perfect storm almost of the consumer drive coming into business. Businesses haven't invested for a few years. Regulatory change, governance and compliance is really driving a lot of demand for us. And of course, a number of key things like technology running out of support. So it really for us is a perfect storm. And I think if we rise to that challenge and if we embrace some of the things that are going on, we as an industry can really improve and really help people to work better, to collaborate better, and to have a better quality of life. Certainly at the Trinity Group, more and more people are operating outside of the office environment for a majority of their time. That improves my rent space. It improves their experience. It gives them more opportunity to pursue their own life agenda whilst also delivering in a flexible way what we need them to do. So for me, it's a great time to be in IT. It really is exciting across all of our companies. Really exciting in terms of what we're seeing happening from our partners, Microsoft. I think I'll put my hands up, I did make for my company one of the worst technology choices known to man. I did get a very bad handset on Windows some years ago, the Samsung. It wasn't a great experience, but we learnt a lot from it. I'm delighted to say the Windows 7 experience on the Windows 7 phones I think is superb. Some of the stuff that Microsoft are doing over the last year and now that's coming into the enterprise, we are really, really, really excited about. I think it's going to be good for us, good for business, and good for the whole industry in general.